Okay, now we're gonna get Renske, little J-Lo, ready to go. So, good girl. First of all, first things first, I always personally brush the mane and tail first. And the reason for this is because if you brush their body first and they've got dirt in the mane, it means that then you're then brushing dirt out of the mane onto the clean body, which obviously isn't that effective. So yeah. Anyway, here I am, just kind of brushing her hair out, her mane and her tail here. There we go. And then the next thing, as it is shedding season, and by that I mean it's like the time of year when they are beginning to get rid of the winter coat, allowing the summer coat to come through, there is hair everywhere, especially for Renske, because she's quite a woolly one. Some of them, they don't really, like Yolanda doesn't get particularly hairy, but the likes of Renske, Hida, Hannes, even with a clip, they all get ridiculously hairy, so there's loads of hair coming out. So what I'm using at the moment, it's called a Terminator, so you can kind of see it's got like little teeth, and some of you might think that it looks a bit aggressive, but it doesn't actually hurt the horse. Like, I can go on my hand like that and it's fine, but it's just really good because it kind of grips all the loose hair and just pulls it out. Some of them, they actually really enjoy it, because I think that's quite a common misconception for people to have. I know I've had a couple of people comment on YouTube videos before when I'm patting the horse and I've been quite firm, I guess, to the touch. People assume that you're being too rough with them, but actually horses enjoy it. Most of them, the firmer or the more direct you are with their touch. It's like you watch them mutually grooming each other out in the field and they really get their teeth out, and sometimes to the untrained eye, because they're really, kind of getting in there with their teeth, it looks quite aggressive, but actually they really enjoy it because it's like a massage. It's like here with Renske, if I go, ooh, that's nice, I can see in her little face that she's quite enjoying that. It's almost better the harder you are with the touch. There we go. Oh, that's good. Good girl. Whereas some of them, they actually don't like it if you're constantly just going like this, because it's weird, it's like a fly landing on them, it's irritating. Whereas you kind of, if you're firm to the touch, they prefer it like that. Do-do-do-do-do. Just giving you a bit of background music, a bit like when you're in a lift. Do-do-do-do-do. Well, I don't know, is lift music still a thing? Because I've never really heard lift music. Like, has anyone else heard lift music before? Put it in the comments section below. Good girl. And it's also as well, when you're grooming them, as well as cleaning them up and them having a nice massage and it offering the opportunity for you to bond with your horse, it also allows you just to I think I do it subconsciously, like check them over, just run your hands over their body, down their legs, and just feel for any lumps and bumps, any signs of injury. Even if this time of year, let's say they've had a fly bite, or you know, there's any cuts or lacerations from where they might have caught themselves. It allows you to check them over for that. Because obviously that's the thing with animals, is if you have a person or a child, they can tell you, oh, this hurts or that hurts or I've got this here, whereas an animal can't do that, so you have to kind of do it yourself. Isn't that right, Rennie? I always do that as well. I call her Rennie and then I'm like, I shouldn't do that because that's an indigestion tablet. And I don't want to think of Renske when I think of an indigestion tablet, because Renske's J-Lo and J-Lo is nothing like an indigestion tablet's here, yeah? And J-Lo's like up there. So I need to stop doing that. Loose hair and check it out like that. Good girl. That's you, darling. Oh, I've just felt a little lump here actually. Not quite sure what it is. I think it's it's got a little tick. So yeah, it ticks as well. I think that's all it is. Yep. Cool, I'll get that out. Sometimes it ticks as well, so what you can do is you just get a tick remover, or sometimes if you miss it or you struggle to get it out, you can just coat the area the tick's been in Vaseline, then it'll suffocate it and it'll die and drop off like because obviously ticks ain't nice, so we don't want them. Pick their feet out as well. It's always very important to pick their feet out, because especially when they've been out in the field when there's mud and the stones, sometimes stones can get stuck in the foot and either bruise the sole, or worse still, you know, kind of make their way into the foot and cause an abscess, which is nasty. Or sometimes as well, some of them, they can even get a kind of bacterial infection called thrush, which is where the foot gets quite smelly and disgusting. So if that is the case, we normally just clean ours out with some hydrogen peroxide and get some field paste in there, which is kind of like antifungal. Come here, my darling. Good girl. Good girl. That's it, sweetheart. So yeah, that is that all picked out. Now it's time to pop the tack on. So Renske's colour is gold, therefore she has this nice gold saddle pad. I normally always pop it on first, and then we have the saddle, obviously, which will just come on over that. Good girl. Always kind of lift the saddle pad up to join it, and then she stood straight there, which is good. I always have a little look behind, check the saddle sat straight on their back. Goodness. And then what you want is you just want it to be kind of sat a couple of fingers behind the shoulder, so that the shoulder's free to move, because if the saddle's too far forward, it obviously blocks and restricts the shoulder. So if your saddle's here, I mean, it restricts the horse's movement. You want those shoulders to be free, like these. Goodness. And then girth straps. That's it. There we go. Just through here. Do at the buckles. Oh, the dogs are having a nice little play. Nelephant with her stick. I love Nelephant, she's so cool. As is Jimothy, but he's slightly more sedate. They're Jodie's dogs, to those of you who don't know. Just readjust the saddle, make sure it's nice and straight. And you might have noticed actually that this saddle has no stirrups on, and that's because Tracy has one set of stirrups that she uses for all of the horses. So they're on Micah at the moment because that's who she's riding. So as soon as she's off Micah, the stirrups will go into Renske's saddle. So Renske, she'll just stand under the sun, sunbathing, with the saddle on for a bit until Tracy comes down, gets off Micah and swaps onto her. Normally, we don't pop their bridle on right up until they're ready to go, just purely because they don't need to have their bit in their mouth for that long. So yeah, that's her already. Sometimes as well with them, you know, you can really give them a good shoulder massage here. Oh, might do that with her actually. you know. See, I will do that with her actually. I think I've got time today. Sometimes we don't have time, because in the ideal world, before you get on them, they'd all do some static stretches and have a good massage on their tight points, which for the majority of them is kind of this area here in the neck and the shoulders. Good girl. Oh, that's good. In the neck and the shoulders. That's it, darling. So you can see here, just massaging that, getting all of his hair out. There's it. Oh, well, I've already got the loose hair out, but it does that too. So just giving it a good massage at the base of her neck. Good girl. Might go a bit more further up. Good girl. Yeah, that's it. And sometimes as well, you know, the hindquarters. Ew, look at that. Ridiculous amount of hair there. So I'll come the other side too. Ridiculous amount of hair. And then I'll obviously do the other side, but just for the sake of showing you, do that off camera. Good girl. The stretches we can do with them are like this. So I'll get the front leg and just give it a nice stretch. Good girl. Good girl. I just want her to stretch into that. Good lass. That's it. Oh. Good girl. Good girl. So you can see she's kind of, good girl, a bit reluctant to stretch into that, and that just kind of goes to show maybe the tight areas. So because I've got the leg quite high as well, that'll be quite a deep stretch for her. Good lass. Have it back. Good girl. That's it. My angel. Yes. And the other one. Good girl. Come on with it here. Nice and high. Good girl. Come here, sweetheart. And I just want this one sturdy. See there, maybe a bit tight. Good girl. That's it. Good girl, that's it. It's almost to reach through, and you want to kind of think, good girl. Might just readjust it. Try that one again. Good girl, that's it. That's it, that's better. Good girl. So that's obviously quite tight. And then another one you can do is this one's really good for the stifles. Good lass. So you can see, quite tight. Let's just kind of bring her out the back here. Good girl. So she's really reluctant to stretch here. That's, I think, just because she's quite tight. Good girl. So it's perhaps not the most pleasant sensation at the moment, but you know yourself, if you're not very flexible or you don't stretch very often, and you do, it does feel quite tight and stiff, and it is hard, but you'll feel better after it. Good girl. That's it. And then the last thing I'll do on this side is I'm just going to tap her all over with it. just to kind of activate and wake up those muscles, even down the leg as well, the tummy. And you can do it on yourself. It feels really nice just waking up those muscles. And so now that's everything done that side. I'll do it the other side, but off camera. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. And that it gave you more of an insight into just some of our prep and stretching we do to help loosen them off and help them be more supple before they go off to work. Smooth. Here I am being properly educated now about where to stand so that I don't get kicked in the face. As I have to say, health and safety is not really my concern. I think about not getting a job done.
You were here trying to stretch backwards there, which if she decided that she wanted to really stretch out...
It would have been quite funny.
Well, no, it wouldn't have been funny, Hole. So, because she's very tight, it's keeping it low down. All right, darling. All right, sweetheart. Let's start again. I know it's tight. I know it's tight. So, lift it up at the front first. And slowly let her do it in her own pace. And she has to do it quite low down to start with.
See, that's sometimes where I think I try to not force it, but I don't know.
Yeah, so you almost want then to let them guide you as to where it goes, where's comfortable. It's like if you're doing a stretch yourself, you have to put a certain amount of pressure, but you just do it gently.
Yeah.
So there, she's relaxed that now, so I can feel there's more relaxation up here. So then I can start just gently against my knee, letting it go back a little bit more and leaving the foot to drop down, because it's all the tightness up through here and up through the stifles. So
oh yeah, I never thought.
I start with the forward stretch.
Yeah, I did that on the other leg, but on this one I started the other way around.
Oh, okay. I wonder if that made a difference for you.
Because sometimes I wonder, like, obviously I know taking the leg back is really good for the stifle.
Yeah.
But this one, what area does...
So this is the hamstring.
Ah.
So this is a good stretch on the hamstring, which is where I think you were doing it before. You were bouncing along here.
Yeah, bouncing the ball. I need to do that on this side still.
Yeah. Oh, so that might be why she's a bit tighter, because you've not...
Ah, I mean, she was quite tight on the other leg as well, but I stretched her before doing the ball, so maybe it's better to do the ball first, and then that'll help it release.
That wakes up, I can't remember the technical term, but it wakes up the muscles, doesn't
it?
Yeah, I mean, she's always been, that's why she can't back up very well on the ground, well, ridden or on the ground.